America has the second most plantings of Pinot Noir in the world, behind France, just ahead of Germany. Most of that is located in California and Oregon. Pinot Noir is a grape that both new drinkers and hardcore wine geeks can really wrap their hands around. For new wine drinkers, Pinot Noirs are fruity, they have high acidity. Generally, they have low tannins, although high-quality Pinot Noirs, high-end Burgundies can be pretty tannic. And then for wine geeks, when you get to more expressive, more complex examples, they can really just have these haunting aromas, these subtle nuances that us geeks go crazy over. The stronghold of Pinot Noir is Burgundy, and since red Burgundy is some of the most specific, some of the most sought-after red wines in the world, passionate winemakers all over the globe have tried their hand at this grape variety, which ripens early. It's a difficult, finicky grape to get right. There was a big boom of Pinot Noir plantings after the film Sideways in the mid-2000s. The main character Miles was crazy about Pinot Noir. And here today we have a Pinot Noir from a region in California where Sideways took place. That's Santa Barbara County. In terms of California, Sonoma and Mendocino County have the most Pinot Noir planted. Santa Barbara comes in a distant third at 5,500 acres, so about 2.2 thousand hectares if my math serves me right. On the other side of the card, we have Oregon that has about 25,000 acres, so about 11,000 hectares of Pinot Noir planted. Most of that is in the Willamette Valley, which contains most of Oregon's population. At the top of the valley, you have Portland. At the bottom of the valley, you have Eugene. These are my two favorite areas for Pinot Noir in America. I used to prefer Santa Barbara County overall. Maybe it's because I was a Sideways fanboy. Maybe it's just because I like the area. It's a real unique area. The mountains run east to west, so they funnel in the cool Pacific air. Even though it's so far south, Santa Barbara County is just about an hour north of Los Angeles. It's pretty cool. Last time I was there in August, I needed a jacket in the mornings. Pinot Noirs there are not really Burgundian. They have their own distinct style, although producers like Domaine de la Côte, maybe Bonacorsi, Samsara might argue. There are two prime areas in Santa Barbara County for Pinot Noir, Santa Rita Hills and Santa Maria Valley, namely the Bien Nacido vineyard. Oregon, of course, is located in the northwest where it's a little bit rainy. However, the Willamette Valley runs north to south. There are coastal ranges on the west side that block some of the rain, although it's still a pretty rainy place. And to the east side, there are the Cascade Mountains that are pretty towering. It's an amazing place. I haven't been there in about 10 years. Hopefully I'll make it this summer to the International Pinot Conference. I used to find that Oregon Pinot Noir in the $25 and under price point, that's a hard price to reach these days. Okay, let's say more like 30 and under price point, over delivers. While I found that some of the more expensive Pinot Noirs I thought were a little bit overrated. My mind has changed as I've tasted some great examples lately. In Santa Barbara County, they're going to be a little bit more expensive, generally going to start at 50 bucks. In general, I found the Pinot Noirs from Santa Barbara County, especially Santa Rita Hills, to be a little fruitier. It's almost like I can taste the sea breeze in them, although they're not too overtly fruity. They have nuances, where the ones in Oregon generally have a little more earthy tones. That's why a lot of Burgundy producers are flocking to the region to try to make great Pinot Noir. Tasting high-end Pinot Noir, so we're tasting out of a great glass. This is the Riedel Performance Pinot Noir glass. This is quickly becoming my favorite wine glass. It has these unique optical striations. Riedel claims that increase the surface area of the glass makes the wine taste better. Okay, all I know is I love using them for Pinot Noir, all types of wines. I have a link in the description box if you want to check them out. They're delicate, they're expensive, but man, I love these things. Usually when I do these face-off videos, I do them blind, but today I don't have a helper, and I'm just gonna try something new. I'm just gonna taste them, compare, give my thoughts. Let me Corvin these babies first. We have two producers here with a lot of pedigree. On your left here, we have the Big Table Farm Pinot Noir from Willamette Valley 2022. This is about 50 bucks. On your right, we have the Racines Pinot Noir, Santa Rita Hills, Santa Barbara County 2020. I know they're different vintages, but these are the current releases of the wineries. This wine right here from Racines comes in anywhere from 50 to 60 bucks, so they're about the same price point. Racines is a brand new project between Etienne de Montiel from from Domaine de Montiel. They're located in Volnay, make both great white and red Burgundy. Rudolf Peter, or we would say Peters in English, of Pierre Peter, a champagne house doing fantastic stuff. And Justin Willett from Tyler, an amazing winery in Santa Barbara County. Here, Big Table Farm, small producer, beautiful label. I guess they do this on Letterhead Press. It's a husband and wife team. The wife's an artist, the husband's a winemaker. They were from Napa. The husband's made wine at Marcassin, one of these cult Sonoma Pinot Noir producers. Those Pinot Noirs go for like $300, $500 a bottle. I have not tasted the Pinots from either of these producers, so let's see the difference here. Another reason I'm doing this video is I just really wanted to taste these wines, so I'm pretty pumped. Both of these are appellation wines, which mean fruit can come from all over the Willamette Valley. I think there's 13 AVAs in the Willamette Valley. Here, this comes from Santa Rita Hills specifically, not a single vineyard wine. Just of note, a lot of these producers in America, you'll see the wines and you'll see the appellation on the label, and then single vineyard, single clone wines, the label will look exactly the same and just say the name of the clone or the vineyard on the label. The wine will be more expensive, but if you're just looking from a distance, you can't really tell the difference. Let's start here with wine number one, the Big Table Farm. Really pretty. I mean, this wine's kind of got a culty following, small production run. It is just extremely pretty. Violets, red raspberry, a little bit of licorice, just a touch of minerals. It's not as earthy. It's actually pretty fruity and not super earthy. Extremely pretty nose. Let's compare it to the Racines here, number two. Now the Racines is significantly more darker fruit, more like cherry, more like red and black cherry. Again, I can smell the sea. Santa Rita Hills, the Pinot Noirs tend to be a little bit darker. I was with a winemaker once, and he talked about since there's a lot of sun there, the skins get a little thicker, they get a little more color. Doesn't make it worse nor better. In the past, there was a little bit of Syrah injected into the Pinot Noir in California. High quality producers, that's not the case anymore. Cherry and sea, I would have to say right now, this is showing a little more fruity. This is showing just a tad more earthier, maybe a little more nuance, although this fruit is really coming on strong. Let's check the palates between both. This is very stereotypical Santa Rita Hills style. Lots of bright fruit, the mineral notes. Oak is very under control. In fact, you don't take oak at all. I think sometimes Sonoma are more highly acclaimed Pinot Noirs, more well-known in America. Sometimes I find them a little bit too oaky. This is classy stuff, long finish, more fruity. This is really friendly. Let's go with this one. No question about it. Big Table Farm is more subtle, has just a touch more I mean, it's real subtle. This is a little bit louder. The Racine's a little louder. Just, you have to look, search more. Man, these are completely two different styles. It's not about what's the best wine. It's about what's the best wine for your palate. I think this wine is just pure delicious. You're gonna just gulp it down. For me, like a 92 point type of wine, the Big Table Farm here, this is for more people that like Burgundy, although it's not full-on Burgundy. There are some more nuances you have to pay attention to. I think there's a little more complexity here, and it's younger. I'm putting this at 93. I think there's just a touch more going on. However, maybe tonight this is easy going. This is something that I just want to pound down because it's so delicious. No matter which bottle you're choosing, you're getting a hell of a wine. Both of the wines represented the regions to me. So tell me, do you prefer Pinot Noir from California or from Oregon? What are some of your favorite producers? Drop it in the comments below.